I know at some point in time we've all had ravioli before, whether it be in a can or from grandma. But today I'm going to show you how to make a delicious ravioli recipe. Oh my goodness, it's going to be a baked ravioli recipe that your entire family is going to love. So without further ado, let's get to cooking. These are the ingredients for today's recipe. Our pan is nice and hot, so I want to add some oil. We're going to add a small drizzle. First thing we want to do is add our onions. Now for this recipe, use whatever onions you prefer. This is simply yellow onions. However, you could definitely rock out with white onions or even Vidalia onions. We're going to cook these onions on down until they're nice and translucent. Add any preferred garlic, whether it be garlic cloves that's finely chopped, garlic paste like I'm adding. If you don't have either or, you can definitely use garlic powder. Stir that on up as well. My flame is on medium heat. Once everything becomes nice and aromatic and the garlic is nice and toasted, we are going to add our meat. Now, when it comes to the meat, add any preferred meat, whether it be ground turkey, ground chicken, or even ground pork. Or you could do like a 50-50 type of mix. Add some sausage in there along with your ground beef. Mix it on up and it's going to be really good. Or if you like veal, add veal as well. It's totally up to you and what, like I said, what you prefer. We're gonna break this meat on down. Okay, this ravioli recipe right here is gonna knock the canned ravioli out of the park. It definitely is. And if you have kids that love ravioli, they're gonna love this recipe, trust me. We've had it literally this week like 3 times already. It was good each and every time. It was really good. Not to mention, I was also playing around with the ravioli pasta, and I have a recommendation for you guys, but I'll talk more about that later. All right, I want to go in there one more time with that ground meat chopper, and I want to make sure that we get all of these pieces broken down, because sometimes you have those little chunky pieces that may appear to be cooked on the outside, but guess what? Once you break it on down, it's still red on the inside. All strained and drained and ready to season. First thing we want to add, or should I say what I like to add to my ground beef, is adobo. I like to start off with that. Gives the meat a lot of flavor. Gonna add a good amount because there's a lot of meat that we're cooking. I'm also gonna add some ground black pepper. I'm also going to add some salt, garlic powder, onion powder, Creole seasoning made by yours truly. We're going to add a good amount, give it some extra flavor. We're also going to add some paprika. Of course, paprika has no flavor, but it does have an awesome color. We're just going to stir and combine all of our dry seasonings with the meat. Perfect. Time for step 2. We're going to add our marinara. Now here's the thing, I can hear somebody asking me, can I add pasta sauce? Yes, you can. Add your favorite brand of pasta sauce. We're going to add some water to this jar, shake it around, get all of the contents out of it. After all, we paid for it. We want to get as much out of this jar as possible. We're also going to add some tomato sauce. Add your favorite brand of tomato sauce. And I want to spike the flavors up just a bit, so I'm going to add a small amount of tomato paste as well. Perfect. We're also going to add some Italian seasoning. Also going to add some dried thyme. We're going to stir everything on in. And then we're going to add it to our meat. Perfect. Alrighty. I'm going to fold everything on in. I don't think anybody's going to want to eat canned ravioli ever again after tasting this recipe. It's all about elevating the flavors using basic ingredients. All you gotta do is pair the perfect ingredients together and boom, you got a winner. All right, we're gonna allow that to come to a slow simmer. But in the meanwhile, we're gonna season just a little bit more with more herbs, all right? So we wanna add a little bit of parsley, not much. Of course, this is parsley paste. Feel free to use fresh parsley or even dry parsley if you want. The next ingredient that I decided to add, some of you may be with me and some of you are gonna be like, what is she doing? I'm gonna lose some of you at this point, but you know what? Oh well. Let me tell you something. This right here, this sauce is gonna be slightly acidic. Some of us could deal with the acidity in the sauce. Some of us, our digestive system, it just can't. So I'm gonna add some sugar to neutralize the acidity in the sauce. Is the sauce gonna be sweet? No, the sauce is not gonna be sweet, all right? But it is gonna create a perfect balance. Now, the only way that it's gonna be sweet is if you add literally a pound of sugar, a cup of sugar. You know what I'm saying? We're not doing that. We're just adding a couple tablespoons of sugar, like I said, to neutralize and balance out that acidity. And that's it. That's it. Trust me, I'm not gonna steer you wrong. Like I told you, this recipe was made about 3 to 4 times already this week. I know what works and I know what doesn't work. Did I ever take it out of Albuquerque and leave you stranded? No. So why would I do that now, right? Never. Anyway, what we are gonna do is we're gonna cover this on down. We're gonna lower the flame to medium heat. We're gonna let our sauce come to a slow simmer. We're gonna work on chopping up some fresh basil and parsley. Let's see what's good. All right. Perfect, 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 perfect. Good to go. You want your meat to look just like this, guys. Just like this. All right. At this point in time, let's turn that stovetop off. Remember I said earlier that I made this recipe like literally 3 to 4 times this week? I could finally tell you exactly why. I played around with like so many different types and brands of ravioli, and I gotta be honest, this brand right here, Amazon Fresh, is the best, hands down. If you're looking for like the perfect texture ravioli that you're gonna be able to bake and come out not tasting chewy or doughy, this is the way to go right here. Not to mention perfect as well, nice and chunky. This one right here is filled with cheese, and like I said, the other brands, I find that there's a lot of inconsistencies as far as like the texture after you cook it. It's like, should I pre-boil it first? Should I, you know, it's just a lot of should I. So with that being said, I prefer to use, or I would prefer you to use, the Amazon brand of ravioli. The thing about Amazon is if you have Prime shipping, you're gonna get this ravioli literally, depending on the time of day that you order it, the same day delivered to your doorstep, if not by the next day. All right, anyway, we got a casserole dish prepped and ready to go. I want to stir this one up one more time, and we're going to take some of our meat sauce and we're going to add it to the bottom of this casserole dish to basically line it. Spread it on out. Boom, just like that. Perfect. All right. Well, just a little bit more. Okay. And we're going to take our raviolis and we're just going to place it on top of the meat. Press it on down just like that. Take the back of the ladle, just spread it on out. If you need to go with the spatula, use the spatula as well. Boom, boom, boom. No time whatsoever. The grated mozzarella. If you want to use mozzarella and provolone for that extra cheese pull, you can definitely use that as well. I'm like so excited. All right, we're gonna another layer of ravioli. Place it on down. During the baking process, from all this heat and sauce that we're adding to the ravioli, it's gonna cook the ravioli on up, so you don't have to worry about the ravioli being raw. Add some more cheese. All right, we are on layer number 3 so far. We're just gonna keep repeating this process until we run out of either meat or ravioli, whichever comes first. Gonna add some more on top once again. Since this is gonna be our last layer, when it comes to adding the meat, you kind of like, you know, you're not that heavy-handed when you get that first layer going, especially if you know you're doing like 3 layers. You try to be a skimpy, but as you try to stretch it out as much as possible. You know exactly what I'm saying. If you make ravioli, you know exactly, not ravioli, but lasagna. You know exactly what I'm saying when it comes to layering, because you're not trying to literally have to turn that stovetop back on and make more meat. All right, once you get to the final layer, at that point it's like, all right, it's time to go in a little heavier. All right, this is perfect. We're done with this part. Now it's time to finalize this dish and bring it on home. You hear me? We have our chopped basil and parsley. We're gonna take it and we're gonna sprinkle it on top. Just like that. All right, we're gonna cover it on down with aluminum foil into our preheated 350-degree oven for about 30 to 35 minutes, or until the cheese is totally melted. Once we're finished, we're gonna remove the foil and we're gonna place it back into the oven on either 400 degrees, or you're gonna turn on the broiler setting until the cheese is nice and brown and bubbly. Check it on out. That is absolutely gorgeous. I don't even have to like literally cut into it for you to be able to tell that this is gonna have such a delicious cheese pool. Wow, that's gorgeous. Time for our taste test. All right, we're gonna go in. Let's see. My mouth is salivating. Wow, this looks so good. We got some cheese pull going on. Yeah, we made it to the plate. Check out our beautiful raviolis. Wow. All right. I'm not gonna be greedy. I'm not gonna take any more. If you want to add some grated Parmesan to the top, you can definitely add that as well. But anyway, this is hot, and without further ado, it's time to eat. This is perfect, just like I said. The meat is seasoned to perfection. Everything is like complementing one another right now. We have our cheese going on, which is perfect. Most importantly, our ravioli perfectly cooked all the way through. Not to mention, it's not doughy and it's not chewy, which is a great thing. And this right here, definitely A1. I'm gonna need you to do a couple things. Go to the pantry and raid all of that canned ravioli on out of here, because this right here is definitely a winner. As always, I'm your girl Cooking with Tammy. Definitely try this recipe on out. Let me know what you think. If you saw anything in this video that you like or may want to add to your kitchen, like for instance the stove that I'm using or the salt and pepper shakers that I get tons of questions about, definitely check the link in the description bar. Check out the Amazon store and you're going to find the casserole dish. You're going to find everything that I use that I got from Amazon. Also, if you need to purchase Cooking with Tammy seasoning, you know where to look. cookingwithtammy.shop to get your seasonings before they are all sold out. Anyway, as always, I would definitely catch you guys in another video. Talk to you later. Bye, guys.